Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to another video of mine. It's Nicolo Barella, and this is another transfer video of mine. Now, obviously, we are in the transfer window, so I've been making a lot of these. Transfers are coming thick and fast, and Chelsea are making so much activity at the moment. So much news. It's tiring every day. New names, the amount of targets we're scouting, looking for, monitoring. It's wild. It's completely crazy, but it fills me with joy because the targets we're looking at are quality. They're not crap targets. If you remember this time last year, we're being linked with Peter Crouch, Ashley Barnes, Andy Carroll. So, oh, fucking hell, that was atrocious. Now we're being linked with top quality names, and I'll be getting into those in this video. The first part of this story is regarding Edinson Cavani, Uruguayan striker from PSG. The second story is regarding Nicolo Barella from Cagliari from the Serie A. I hope I didn't butcher that. I most likely did. But getting into the first part of the story, Edinson Cavani from PSG, an absolute world-class lethal striker. I would absolutely love him. But before I give my thoughts and opinions on Edinson Cavani, I'm the guy to give you on what the reports say and obviously who reported it and how reliable this news is. Now, BBC Sport, which is very, very reliable in the UK, along with Sky Sports, the two most reliable sport outlets in the UK, have reported that Chelsea are set to bid £50 million for Edinson Cavani. Also, the Guardian and the Metro have also reported. The Metro not being too reliable, but Guardian and BBC Sport you can rely on. They're quite reliable in the UK. So that's three outlets have already reported this. A lot more catching on. 24 hours ago, they did report that we were inquiring for Edinson Cavani, but there wasn't much more after that. However, 3 to 4 hours ago, BBC Sport have released that Chelsea are basically have already inquired on him and they're looking to set a £50 million bid on Edinson Cavani. And I've got a lot of mixed feelings regarding Cavani. Now, if you asked me 4 years ago, did I want Cavani? I would have slapped your hands. 27 years of age, world-class, lethal striker from Napoli, best years at Napoli. I would have loved it. However, unfortunately, he moved to PSG for 55 million. He's had his prime years there. He's done superbly at PSG, starting striker, main striker, playing alongside Kylian Mbappe and Neymar. However, he's getting on a bit. This is the issue now. Obviously, trying to get a young top striker such as Icardi is going to be very difficult in this window because we are in the winter season. Teams, they don't have to sell in January. It's mid-season. Why are you going to let your best striker go? Cavani's not going to be cheap. Now, a lot of people on social media, what I've seen, have been saying Cavani, would be really good as a short-term option, but I can't really see it as a short-term option. We're not going to, you think Chelsea, the board, are going to spend £50 million for a 6-month deal? It's just not going to happen. If you do sign him, it's definitely going to be for as long as we can because we're going to pay £50 million for him. But there are a lot of positives. Like I said, he's world class. He's been proven. He's done on all sorts of levels. He was really good at the World Cup for Uruguay. He's done on the international stage. He's won countless Liga 1 titles. You can take that with a pinch of salt. He's won so many titles and trophies. Done really well at Napoli. And he's simply a world-class striker. I love him. He would definitely sort our striking issues for the short term. However, it's the age that I'm worried about. He is 31. He'll be turning 32 next month. And if we are going to sign him, it's a massive gamble. He's not Premier League proven. There are other targets such as Callum Wilson, Jamie Vardy. Despite them not being on the same calibre, they are at least Premier League proven. Mentally, is he going to be up to scratch? Premier League is very intense compared to Liga 1. Is he past it? That's the other question. Is he past his prime? These are all sort of the questions that we won't know until he does sign for us. Now, I would be in favour of the move. I'll be in favour of the move. I'm linked with other strikers such as Benzema, but I would love Edinson Cavani. For short term, I would love it. Beautiful. He would definitely sort our striking problems, like I said, until the summer. 6 months, yes, definitely do it. But we know it's not going to happen. Chelsea not going to spend 50 million for 6 months. He's going to be there minimum 18 months. And if we do sign Cavani, that definitely is going to rule us out to sign Icardi in the summer, which is a shame because that's the target that I want, fans want in the summer. But yeah, if we sign him, we'd be definitely guaranteed sort of for 100%. But like I said, it's his age. He's not as mobile as he was before. He's not as quick. But like I said, he's a lethal world-class striker. And I can, hopefully it does happen. Like I said, reliable news outlets have reported on this. My thoughts is I'll definitely do this still if it was for the short term, 100%. But I fear it's not going to be for the short term, and I fear that it's going to be for the long term. Is he, is he as good as he was before? Is he going to cut the mustard? That's another question to be asked. But I think he will. He's a lethal striker. He's got so many attributes, to fit our system. He can fit Sarri ball. He's a clinical finisher. He's good aerially. He's got a good touch on him. He's just not as quick as he was before, but he's still a world-class striker. and would love to have him here. Leave me your thoughts about Edinson Cavani. Would you take him at Chelsea? Personally, I would take him at Chelsea. He's a quality striker. I would love to have Edinson Cavani. But the second part of the video is regarding Nicolo Barella from Cagliari into Serie A. Now, I don't know much about him. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've watched him. I've seen a bit on YouTube, but you know, you can't really take that with you can't say that's reliable. Now, obviously, a lot of news outlets such as Tutto Sport, RMC Sport, and also some journalists such as Alfredo Pegula have reported that Chelsea are closing in on signing Nicolo Barella for 45 to 50 million euros. Now, it's quite a lot of money for an 18-year-old. He plays as a regista in the Serie A. He's basically a similar position to how Jorginho plays. Obviously, Cesc Fabregas pretty much being confirmed to go into AS Monaco. Barella is heavily linked with us, and if I'm honest, I would love him. Now, obviously, Denis Suarez are linked with him, but he looks like he's off to Arsenal, and I'm very happy. I don't rate Denis Suarez at all. He's a bit part player for Barca, but Barella, future wonder kid. From what the Italians are saying in Serie A, he's supposed to be the next Pirlo. We'll see about that. It's very massive compliment to him. Apparently, he's been fantastic. He can play anywhere across the midfield. He can play as a regista. He can play as a number 8. He can play where Kante plays. He'd be a fantastic backup. My only worry is he's 18 years of age. He's not proven. He's very raw. He's got all the attributes to become world class and be a future prospect and, like they say, the future Pirlo, etc. But I haven't seen much of him, so I can't really give you my insight. If any of you have watched him, honestly, any of you have watched him in Serie A, please let me know in the comment section below. I want to see what your opinions on him are. But I just believe there's a hefty price tag. He's not been proven, but it's the raw talent that we're paying for. He's a backup. Says Fabregas leaving, so we have to sign a backup midfielder. But he's the one for the future. Hopefully he can play Jorginho in a few years. Barella can play there. But like I said, he's Italian, so Sarri must know him from the Serie A. I'm sure Sarri would love him. He can adapt to Sarri ball. He can still be moulded because he's only 18 years of age. And I think he'd be a fantastic addition. It's the price tag that I believe is quite expensive. But if you want the best talent, if you want the best prospect, you've got to pay the most amount of money. And I think that, I wouldn't mind Barella. I think that'd be a fantastic addition. But this looks set to be done in the next 2 to 3 days. Nicolo Barella could be a Chelsea player next 2 to 3 days. I would love him, like I said, great addition, future prospect, can be world class, has the attributes to become world class, very raw, and a perfect backup to Jorginho. And like I said, very, very versatile across that midfield. So I would definitely take Nicolo Barella. Leave me your thoughts regarding Barella in the comment section below. And finally, the other striker that we've been heavily linked with is Karim Benzema, along with Edinson Cavani. And no. If you want my immediate answer, no. He's 33 years of age, if I'm not mistaken. He was world class in his prime. He was definitely world class. Yes, he's a starter for Real Madrid. You'd think he's good. But he hasn't got it anymore. He's way past his prime. He's not as good as he was. And I think that he's not going to cut the mustard. I think he would, even as a short-term option, I wouldn't take him. Even as a short-term option. He wouldn't be too pricey. I reckon my guess would be from the 20 to 25 million assumption. But I just think that it's, I can't see it personally. I wouldn't want him anyway. I think he's too slow. He's not as mobile as he was. He's not as clinical as he was either. I think he's been really poor in these last few seasons at Real Madrid. He was world class in his time, in his prime, alongside Ronaldo and Bale. He's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But last season he was atrocious. This season he's been a bit better, but not too well. And personally, I just think even as a short-term option, I know you might, find it hilarious, but I'd rather keep Morata to the end of the season than have Benzema at Chelsea. I'll be brutally honest, and I wouldn't want him. I personally wouldn't want him. I don't see this one happening. I don't think it'd be successful. I think it would be a flop, complete flop. He's 33 years of age. We'd only give him a short-term contract. Would he want that as well? And we're going to have to pay 25 million for him as well. And obviously, once we get him, we're going to have to sell Morata on top of that. I can't see this one happening. I wouldn't want him personally. Like I said, he's not going to cut the mustard. He hasn't got that attributes as he was before. He's not as clinical as he was. He's got good link-up play, I guess, but he's too slow. He's not mobile enough. He's not got as good a touch as such as your Lukaku's, etc. I just think he's not that great. I really want him. Leave me your thoughts regarding Karim Benzema in the comment section below. Like I said, I wouldn't want him at Chelsea at all. I don't rate him. I rated him a few years ago. I thought he was fantastic, but I just think no, I wouldn't want him personally. No, journalists such as Simon Phillips and also Simon Johnson have reported that he's one of Chelsea's targets that we're scouting and looking at, which is fair enough. We are looking at a lot of targets. Which leads me on to our next point. I think there's an impending Chelsea transfer ban. I've already mentioned this, but the amount of activity that's going on, the amount of players we're looking at and scouting and targeting, etc., meaning that we could have a transfer ban on our way. But we're going to have to see and wait. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new around here, and comment down below your thoughts regarding Edinson Cavani. Would you want him as a short-term option or even long-term option? Would you want Benzema? Do you disagree with me? And also, any of you seen Barella? Would you take him as backup to Jorginho and then overtake him in the future? Yeah, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.